But if you are someone that thinks Major League Baseball needs a salary cap after what you saw at the Dodgers, you are part of the problem with baseball. The problem isn't the Dodgers spending all that money to win. The problem in baseball is that more owners than not are never going to spend money to win. That's the issue. Don't be mad at the Dodgers for doing whatever it takes to win. Be mad at your team and your owner for not having that same mindset. That is where baseball, I think, is truly flawed. There are too many owners in it, not to win it, but treating it like a business. And so they're cutting costs in order to increase revenue. Don't care about the product on the field. Don't care about being competitive. How can we make as much money as possible? And we'll do whatever it takes. The Dodgers are spending money to make money. That's how every team should operate. And unfortunately, they're a rare case. But I see them spending all this money on Ohtani, on Yamamoto. I applaud it. And I don't think they should be punished by putting a salary cap on the sport or changing the rules because of how they spend money this offseason, because what you're doing is punishing the will to win. That's exactly what you're doing. Wanting a salary cap, wanting the Dodgers to get in trouble because they're deferring all this Shohei Ohtani money. What you're doing is punishing the Dodgers for trying to win, when instead we have to be punishing the owners who don't care about winning. That's the problem. That's where the focus should be. If your team wasn't able to get Yamamoto, if your team wasn't able to get Ohtani, or didn't even make a call, that's the problem. We have to get on owners for not trying. Not getting them is one thing. Not trying is the bigger problem. And that's why, again, instituting a salary cap is, to me, not the answer for baseball after what we've seen, this record spending from the Dodgers. Again, I have to salute them. I'm not a Dodgers fan, I'm a Mets fan. Yamamoto, I was hoping, was going to be a Met. He's not. He chose the Dodgers over the Mets. Money was the same. But it's one of those where I look at the Dodgers and I have nothing but respect, because you know what they're doing? They are treating their team like when we were all kids growing up, like we viewed sports. I'm sure you looked at it just as I looked at it. When you were younger, growing up, 8, 9, 10, you first fall in love with baseball or whatever sport, you always think, oh, well, everything they're doing is for winning. Right? Every owner is owning a team not to make money, not because it's a business, but because they want to win. So it's like free agency. Well, of course they're not going to cheap out. Of course they're going to try to get every big name free agent and extend and give the most money to every possible player because they're here to win. And then, unfortunately, as you grow up, you realize the harsh reality of, oh, well, this, the love for the game or being in it to win it. Not a lot of owners are about that. A lot of owners are about the bottom dollar first, winning second. And that's not something you grow up as a kid thinking about, that unfortunately you learn the hard way. But the Dodgers are right now the exception. The Dodgers are spending money like we all thought teams would when we were younger. Do whatever it takes to win. And the Dodgers deferring, $680 million of Shohei Ohtani's $700 million contract, deferring that until 10 years from now so they can spend money like $325 million to get now Yamamoto on their team and only bolster their chances of winning a World Series. That is truly the definition of doing whatever it takes to win. It's frustrating that it's not my team. But with that said, I can't be mad because they are doing something that very few teams do. Trying to win. Doing whatever it takes to win. And I don't think punishing them, instituting some sort of salary cap is the right move. What I think, if anything, what should be spawned off of this Dodgers spending money like it's going out of business is a salary floor, not cap. Because again, now that's to me, the real solution on how to get baseball more teams in it. Forget competitive. Just having more fan bases in it going into the year. Owners should be forced to spend more money, not be capped on how much money they could spend. That's what baseball has to be looking at. Because there are too many teams right now in the league that we could point to and say, oh yeah, they're not competitive. They're not spending money. They're not trying to win. They're more worried about making a profit and a buck than they are trying to have a competitive team in the mix and trying to have their fan base believe that they have a chance. And so if you look around the league, and I could easily count up 2/3 of the league that is not willing to spend the money to win, that is problematic. That is problematic when on one hand, maybe two, I could count the teams that say money's no object, we're here to win, and whatever it takes, we're willing to do. Every team should be like that. Because the one thing I never want to hear in sports, but especially baseball, because we kind of hear this the most, are owners crying poor. Let's get one thing straight. No one is poor. There is no such thing as a poor sports owner. Everyone is rich. They're disgustingly rich. They want a portray of, oh, we're just a mom and pop shop here. We're just trying to keep the lights on, so we can't afford Ohtani and Yamamoto. We can't even afford a B- free agent because, it's little old us. Oh, look at us, we're in a small media market. We can't compete with the big dogs in New York and LA and Chicago and Houston. Here we are in little old Tampa. Ooh, we're so poor. Help us. Putting a tin cup out on the side of the road to get, some quarters dropped into their jar. No one is poor, especially in baseball. Look at the system. Half of your money is revenue sharing. So half of the profits every team gets is thrown into a pool and split. So half of every team's money on a yearly basis is equal. Not to mention, again, every owner is rich, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars. You can afford to get a big-time free agent. You can afford to trade and then extend a guy and give him a massive deal. No one is poor. I don't want to hear any owner, but especially in baseball, cry poor and they can't make a move because they are not rich enough or not in a big market. Nonsense. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Little market Milwaukee. Giannis, Dame, max contracts. Two of the biggest superstars in the NBA in Milwaukee. No excuse why the Rays, the A's, the Brewers can't operate the same way. It's not just the Dodgers that are allowed to spend money, or the Yankees, or the Mets, or the Cubs. Every team in baseball can and should be doing whatever it takes to win, and that includes spending money. Whether it's directly on a free agent, whether it's improving your scouting department and building up your farm system, whether it's paying your guys that are already on your team and rewarding your guys with contract extensions, whatever it may be. Money is never an object, or should never be an object, when it comes to sports teams and how they decide to win or to lose. So when you look at the Dodgers spending $700 million on Shohei, $325 million on Yamamoto in the span of 2 weeks, I'm not mad. I'm jealous. I wish that was my team. But since it's not, I respect the hell out of the Dodgers for living literally every young kid's fantasy, where money is not an object, where they are deferring money in order to spend more money now to get better players on their team to try to give themselves the best possible chance to win. How could I be mad about that? How could I truly be frustrated at a team going all in to win? So if you're someone today that says, that's ridiculous, that is unfair, baseball sucks because the Dodgers, they should put a salary cap because it's illegal what they're doing, manipulating the luxury tax to avoid paying more money and all that free agent money they're spending. Nonsense. Don't be mad at the Dodgers. Be mad at your own team that they are not operating the same way LA is. That's where I am. As a non-Dodger fan, that's exactly how I feel. That's how every other team in the league should feel towards their team. Not frustration towards the Dodgers, not anger, but jealousy. Why are they doing it, and how come we aren't? That should be what is being asked, and we should be talking about a salary floor of getting owners to spend more money than a salary cap, which is essentially punishing owners for their will to win. I salute the Dodgers. Ohtani, Yamamoto, Glasnow, previous off seasons, Freeman, Betts, they're doing whatever it takes. They're throwing the money to the wall, saying, screw it, we are here to win. We need more teams like that in baseball, not less. I applaud them.